Welcome to the Exxon Photography. My name is Jannis Dirksen and welcome to a Photographer's Diary. I'm going to give you an insight into the life of a photographer on a monthly basis, and we arrived at the month October 2018. So what happened in October 2018 from the photography side? Well, first of all, because we went to Venice and to Paris in September, there was a lot of work that I still had to do and deliver in the beginning of October. So the beginning of October was just about finishing stuff. It's just about getting things done, checking them off the list, delivering them, getting them out of your room. If you have a wedding album printed, it's ready to go to the client, to the bride and groom, and it sits there for 1, 2, 3 days. You think, I take it now and bring it to them. I'm not waiting for the time that we made up. I will bring it to them right away. So I had to do a lot in October just to get to a point where I could say, I'm now in October. And then weddings continued. I had the last wedding just now, and well, actually there's another wedding in December, but that's just something that came in a couple of days ago. There are many couples asking for weddings for the next year. That's also coming in right now. So I'm already meeting the couples that I will photograph next year. I always want them to see me. It's not so important that I see them, but it's very important that they see me, because I want them to have a great feeling about the people who come to their wedding. And the photographer is so important, and it is a very close relationship between the photographer and the bride and groom. It's such an important relationship, and it's so close that they have to have a great feeling about me. I tell them, you have to choose a photographer where you have a great feeling. Choose somebody that you want on your wedding day. That's what I always say. And choose me if you have a great feeling. And I always say, also meet with other wedding photographers, so you have a better overview. Select the one that you like most, the images, and that you feel most connected with. I always say that. Check out other guys. And so some weddings we also shot in October, and we met many wedding clients. I also do real estate photography, which means I photograph houses and flats that are sold by banks or real estate agencies. And sometimes there are hotels requesting a photo shoot as well. So this month we also photographed a hotel. It's a hotel where every room is unique. Every room is different. There are no two rooms of the same look. So I photographed every room. And that's the real estate photography is something, you could say, bread and butter. That is something that I do not every day, but you could say every week. And it's regular from January to December. It's not a season thing like the weddings. Okay, what else? Because now the last wedding is done, I have some time to think about stuff. And when I have time to think about stuff, I always think about photography. And you know something about the most important thing in photography for me is not the image, it's the feeling I have while I take the image. And so the Canon 6D Mark II that's filming now, it's so easy to use. It will focus on my face. I see it here, my face. I can focus on the background with a click, and now let us just see. Now the background is sharp and I am out of focus. Or I can click on me, and now I'm in focus. And this works so well. It's so easy to take pictures with this camera that it's not demanding anymore. And you know, when I have important shoots, I want a camera that's very reliable and that helps me. But when I am, for example, here in Spain now, I want a great experience for myself shooting. And I get a great experience when I have a camera that's not easy to use. I want a camera that is not easy to use, and that is what is giving me joy. So I'm here now with the 6D Mark II, and I also have a Canon 5D Mark I. Now the difference in technology, it's 12 years. The 5D is from 2005 and the 6D Mark II is from 2011, more or less. So this 6D Mark II is so much better on every technical level, but the 5D Mark I has more soul to it. It has very few frames per second, so it feels like an analog camera. You take pictures 1 or 2 or 3, but not 10, 20, 30. And you have to be careful with the autofocus because shooting at f1.4, for example, it's not always on point. And it just slows me down and it gives me a great experience. It's not about the image in the end. The images turn out all nice, no matter which camera. I can use a Hasselblad medium format, I can use a full frame DSLR, I can use a Fuji APS-C camera or Sony A6000 series. I can use the Olympus Micro Four Third camera, the OMD EM10 Mark III or something like this. And all the images turn out nice. Some have a little bit more blurry background, some are more sharper in general. And, but in the end, all cameras will give you nice images. There is no camera on the market that will give you bad images. And if there is a camera that will give, or if you have a camera that you think you take bad images with, it's probably not because of the camera. A better camera is probably not going to give you better images. So if I shoot with the 6D Mark II or 5D Mark I, the images turn out very, very similar. So let me just put in now some images of the 5D Mark I, just so you have an idea how the results look like. And in the end of this video, I will show you the 6D Mark II images. Okay, so the shooting experience, that's what's important for me. And there are some cameras that are very interesting for me for 2019. Now when I say interesting, it's not about business. It's not something that I would necessarily use to make money with. I wouldn't bring it on a wedding day, but just to get a great experience for myself, for me. You know, sometimes you have to reward yourself. And the cameras that I like, it's the Hasselblad X1D medium format, Fuji GFX 50R medium format, Leica monochrome, the Leica M monochrome. Now this is a camera that's 6,000 to 7,000 euros expensive, and it only shoots black and white. There is no color at all. That's very interesting for me. No autofocus, by the way. And the Leica MD or M10D. And that is something very, very interesting because there is no display on the back, which means that when you take a picture, you actually cannot see the image. It's like using an analog camera for 7,000 euros without lens. And that is something very interesting. That is a niche product. Only very few people buy such a camera, plus the lenses that also come in very expensive. And that is something that I am really attracted to. I'm looking not for a better camera, I'm looking for something different, for something more difficult. Not easier, but more difficult. I'm looking for the opposite of what everybody is doing now. More megapixel, more autofocus point, everything. All cameras are so easy that I lose the joy of using them. And so these are the cameras for 2019, a Leica, a Hasselblad or Fuji medium format camera that I'm looking into. Until then, let's use some analog cameras. So I have one with me here. I shot here in Spain. We're near Malaga. I shot with the Canon AE1. I have a couple of analog cameras right now. The Pentacon 6, which is a 6x6 medium format camera. I have it always here in Spain. Some cameras I always have in Spain, like the 5D Mark I. And so I only have to bring lenses. And this is a camera I bought just before I got here. So let me just show you. This is the, let's just get us here. This is the Canon AE1. It's a very old camera. Everything is manually. You have to do it like this. You have to put in the film by hand. You have to wind it. So everything in this camera is done by hand manually, and this is something that I really like. And I photographed, I think, about 10 films. So I have here some films, some Ilford, Fujicolor, Kodak, Ekta, couple of films I shot. And this video is coming out later because I want to develop the images and want to put some images here into the video so you see some images. So what else? I really enjoyed using the Canon 5D Mark I over the 6D Mark II, but I also use the 6D Mark II. For example, we have two friends here, Anna and Fran. And Fran, let me say Fran, he buys old cars and works on them, makes them better, and sells them. And he just had a really nice Hurtan, it's the brand name, and he said, you know, I'm going to sell this car in a couple of days. If you like, we can take some pictures with it. And so we spent a day together with his girlfriend Anna and with my girlfriend Anna and took some pictures together. It was really nice. And I only have one lens here in Spain, the 6D Mark II with the 24mm 1.4 lens. So this is now the, let me just open this up. This is the f1.4 lens, 24mm, now shot at f1.4. And you know, 24mm is not my favorite lens, but I brought only this lens, so I use it, and I have to fall in love with it if I have no other lens. It's so easy. If you have one lens you don't like, go on holidays only with this lens and take maybe 10,000 images with it. And then, you know, when we shot the images with Anna and Fran, I thought, man, if I had my 50mm lens with me to get a little bit closer. And in the end, I think there's some really nice images that we took with this lens. And you know, I do these videos and I do little talking in these videos usually. I mostly show you the real images and the real photo shoot, so you see which lens will give you which kind of image, which style of image. So let me give you now let's say three galleries. The first gallery is the 6D Mark II 24mm L lens with the photo shoot with Anna and Fran and my girlfriend Anna with his car, the Hurtan. The second gallery will be our birthday of our son Noah, he got 1 year old. And the third gallery will be some images I shot on the Canon AE1 film camera that I just bought before, and I don't even know if it works, but I will find out when I have the films developed. Then this video goes online, and then we might already be in end of November. So have a nice time.